What's up, everyone? Dem Boys, back with part 3 of our little mini scheme, which might just become an ebook. It's so nasty. Like this scheme, I'm going to put an asterisk right in front of it here. If someone is trying to heat you up, if they're sending 6, that's the only time that you might have a problem. Sending 6, pressing you, that's probably it. Sending 6 and pressing you, you might want to come out of this. Either way, even if they send 6, you have to note you're really only blocking 5. You can motion block, so I'll show you that. You can motion block. If you find out that you really like some of this stuff, what we can do, so we're gonna start here. DB Blitz. Alright, so now, okay, they're in man, they've had enough, they're heating us up. Because really that's the only way you stop this mini scheme, is something, that's what you gotta do, right? So, I'll explain why I'm doing what I'm doing later, but you'll notice there's a slant on my B receiver, I got my wide receiver on a drag. Go ahead and motion block Witten. And there I tried to get my drag, right? You're gonna have to make a quick read. My slant got jammed up too, so there you go. That's kind of how you can beat this. So if anyone starts doing that and you're saying, oh, well, this happened, that happened, there you go. If someone's sending 6, you must motion block to have any amount of time to make a reasonable read. That having been said, what this is really for is for people playing coverage. I've showed you the zone beater, you have to come out of the zone, right? And I told you they have to come out of the zone. Now they're going to play man, I'll give you the man beater. So we've run the zone beater on them. We've scored some touchdowns with the red zone play that I showed you. So part 3, okay, they're playing man. So this isn't so much as a play as a concept that you can run any direction and must to keep people off balance. That is key. When people are playing man, if I'm playing man with 2 safeties over the top, it might look like this, depending on what I think you're doing. It might look like this. I don't know. Whatever. You get what I'm saying? It might be this. Maybe I think a wheel roll's coming up from your outside receiver, so I've done something like this. Etc., right? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, my point is, very rarely are you just going to see 2 deep halves. So you kind of got to be able to keep people off balance, and that's the point of this. So the concept here is really simple. It's a man beater with a drag and a slant, and it has to be spaced properly. That's the main thing. So the first time I run this, it's almost always the same way. I'm going to take my B receiver on a slant, I'm going to take Cooper and run him on a drag, right? We all have seen the verticals play before, so I'm not just here to say run verticals, it's back. This is just a way where you can run the same concept and get really, really comfortable with the concept, but you can do it so many different ways out of one formation. That's just tough for people to start to key in on. Okay, so maybe the first time I run it that way. Maybe the next time I put Y out here, maybe I put Elliott on a drag, and I put my RB. So we've just shifted it over one. We have the same concept, but we've just shifted the players involved over one to keep that spacing. That spacing is to make it tougher on the user, to give your guys more time and space to get off of a jam and get into a route. It's simply spacing. Space, right? That's what we want to do with all these underneath routes. You might even at some point get somebody cheating underneath and bomb them, with one of these goes, right? That's another thing that can happen here. But so again, maybe so we've run it a bunch. They've seen it. So now maybe, I don't know, maybe Cooper's on a slant and we just start flipping exactly how we're doing this. So now we've got a slant, but a drag, and it's all happening the other way. Maybe it's like this now. Or maybe we really space it out and we run the slant and the drag all the way on opposite sides of the field. How are you going to key in on that is my point. That is my point here. People are backing up. Maybe there's a quick out. So we got a slant and a quick out. And now we're playing like almost like a little high-low, right? So you can really just kind of play with it from there. And continue to make little adjustments. So I always just think of that. Anytime somebody's giving you plays on YouTube, run this play, run this play. A good player is going to eventually figure that out, and they're going to counter it. And that counter is going to leave something else open. What I mean by that, for example, let's just say somebody's giving you a play, and every version of this play, the tight end is always on a drag. And, this guy's always on an out. Well, you know what? Eventually, this single high guy, he's not going to be a single high guy anymore. Maybe he's going to be a guy over here doing this, You see, so, and then maybe all of a sudden this guy's cheating underneath. So all of a sudden he's kind of coming, these users cheating down, and now, if you had run a go, right, everybody's cheating down. So now maybe you do that. Maybe you say, hey, I know this really wasn't the play design anybody ever gave me, but this is probably going to work. So I don't know, it's just food for thought. Because all of a sudden you get, food for thought. But again, this is a simple concept. You have a drag going one way, you have a slant going the other way, you space them. Every time you run this shit, just run it with different people doing said things. Just make sure you have amount of space, right? I want it to be at least 3 defenders apart. So what I mean by that is 1, 2, 3. I don't want it any closer than this. If you do this, the results I shall not be responsible for. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. You're bad. Anything but that. And this play should work great. Dem boys, hope you enjoyed. Peace. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. If you're on a phone, there's buttons. Hit the button. Do it. Then hit the other button.